And welcome back to another episode of the SuperSubs podcast. Wow, this is great to be back. We're in mid-season form already. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Guys, super stoked to be back for yet another year, which by the way, soccer basically never ends. But we have started a new season, the 2022-2023 season. The guys are back here. We're going to be discussing the beginning of the season, especially some Premier League action, as well as some transfer news and impacts around the league. And then we'll go into the World Cup jerseys, as well as some scheduling fun from FIFA, only a few months away from the World Cup. But if you're listening to us, again, as a reminder, please subscribe on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Chris, Brian, and I will be discussing soccer almost weekly. Well, we'll say for the most part weekly. For whatever is happening, please follow us on any one of those social platforms. I'll be posting full episodes on YouTube, and then we'll be posting the creme de la creme, as you would say in an American accent, on TikTok and Instagram. So, gentlemen, good evening. How are you?
Great. It's great to be back. You really, it feels like it's been a long time when there's no international break. World Cup should have already happened by now, but it's kind of nice. We got that to look forward to in the winter months coming up. But yeah, it feels like it's been a long time since any meaningful games have been played. But it's good. Season's back in full swing already. Week 1 in the books for all of the major countries. So get into it, Chris. How are you doing?
Yeah, doing great. Summer was great. Sometimes it's good to not have 1, 2, 3, 4 games a day to watch. Yeah, I mean, it was, expecting, the World Cup this summer, and that was a different rhythm. But in the US, it will be around like holiday timing. So this will be great. Probably will take a couple of weeks off to really watch it in full mode. But yeah, I'm really happy to be back, and we're 2 weeks in the season, and we already have so much to talk about. Amazing stuff coming up. So I'm really excited. How about you, Coben? How was the summer?
It was great, and I'm super excited to be back as well. I feel like for the first time in a while, I'm dialed into the beginning of the soccer season, not just for the SuperSubs podcast, but in general. I actually watched way more highlights than I normally do. Usually I come in, as usual, extremely prepared, but I feel doubly and triply prepared for this season with all of the transfer news, as well as the highlights from the first 2 seasons. Now, the only interesting part is that Brian is actually coming to us from 1975 with his pixelated Clint Dempsey and Roblox style resolution. So we're excited to go back to the future with Brian. But no, I'm excited to be
unnecessary to crush our buddy Deuce like that. Jesus. Right out of the chute. Look at him back there. What a huge beast.
I wish I could see which facial expression he was making back there. I'm not sure, but he seems just as excited as we are. So with that, gentlemen, let's get into it. I have to say, let's start with what's right behind me now, which is actually was a fantastic and excellent display of 90 minutes plus of football, and also why we actually love the Premier League so much. Chelsea and Tottenham with a 2-2 fire show yesterday, which included off the field antics from both managers. The game ended in a 2-2 draw, but as you can see behind me, quite a scuffle took place after the game. Actually, it's part 2 with Antonio Conte and Thomas Tuchel, the Chelsea manager. What do we think? I want to let's talk about the game a little bit, and then we can go into the post-match festivities. Brian, you watched this one.
I did, yeah. It was a great game. It's a typical, everyone, this is why we love the Prem. But it's true. It was an awesome game. 2-2, late equalizer from Harry Kane right at the death to steal a point at the Stamford Bridge. But yeah, just a terrific game. Good energy, especially in the second half. Things really picked it up a notch, and then the Tuchel and Conte drama, really just ratcheted it up another notch. So it'll be great to see when they play each other again in the return game at Tottenham. But yeah, just great action. I thought that Chelsea, blowing 2 leads, you'd like to see them hold on to that, get to 3 points. But Tottenham's a great team too. I think that people might still sleep on them a little bit because they're Tottenham, but this is a team with a lot of talent, and they hung in there on the road and got in the end, I think, a deserved point. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, as you teed off, Premier League already showing its muscle, full mode in the summer. Battle of the Bridge. So there was a lot of action on, off, and on side of the pitch. So for me, when you look at it like from just a tactical standpoint, Tuchel outsmarted Conte, and it's I know this one might hurt a little bit, but because Conte is truly a masterful tactician, but he got outsmarted for 60 minutes, and then Conte took quite some time to bring in Perisic, whose full disclosure is in my fantasy league, and delivered a few great set pieces as the assist at the last second. So I think he might understand how to bring him in the team earlier than Emerson Royal or all those players that are not even at the ankle level of Perisic. Sorry, parenthesis closed. But like honestly, Chelsea, in my standpoint, unbiased standpoint, did deserve to win that game. Tottenham was really scoring behind and had like a squeak by a few times. And also, I used to we'll have to talk about the refereeing as well. Anthony Taylor. I used to think the English refereeing was the best in the world, and that was maybe coming from like the French league, where like the refereeing is like truly a joke and amateur hours. Let's be honest, almost as on the same level as MLS. But now that I pay more attention, is like even those like Anthony Taylor used to be much better than this. And like Cucurella getting his hair pulled, and like they look at the VR and like, oh no, it's okay, no problem. And the big tackle on Havertz, and that's what started the whole thing. So that's a good segue for me, is that this whole spat between the two managers that we can see in the background of Colburn is started by basically a mistake from Anthony Taylor and the VAR, where basically a strong tackle on Havertz wasn't called. And then the following build-up led to the goal of Tottenham. So Tuchel, who's German, but actually, honestly, he must have like Latin ancestors and background, because the guy is very nervous, very emotional, and more emotional than Colburn and I were Latin. So there is something in there to look at, and that's all started this whole thing. And then there was some jury, Jose Mourinho staff like walking in front of him, and after almost like general governance, not to say like push, and they all at the end of the game got both red cards. But Tuchel had to say, no, that's normal, like we get a little bit heated. That's what we like. That's the drama, so that he doesn't get suspended for more than one game. But he's under review. Because of his suggestion about the bad refereeing. He's right, but you cannot, when you're a coach, you cannot say that. He's like, there is a petition online from Chelsea fans saying like Anthony Taylor should never referee at Chelsea anymore. And honestly, like I shouldn't referee at all anymore. It's not just Chelsea. Like honestly, like those are really bad in the area and in the era of VAR. So a lot's going on, and a lot of good, like Cucurella, who was supposed to be a backup, starting, and honestly really good. Sterling, yeah, I'd love to see like Colburn and Brian. What did you think of Sterling? I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Sterling, and especially him plays as like he was changing position as false nine and on the side. So I don't know. What do you guys think of Sterling?
Well, first of all, let me just go back to the tackle.
Right.
The first tackle of the first goal. Yeah. So one, yes, foul. I thought it was actually a obvious foul. I think I don't know what Brian thinks on this, but I think we would all agree there.
That's
Second,
definitely obvious.
the second thing though is that Chelsea had the ball back before they gave up the goal though, and I will say that once again, my guy Jorginho getting cued in the back, he had the ball and possession of the ball with an opportunity to get rid of it and clear the pressure from that possession. Instead, he tried to dribble in his own box and it got caught, and there was the goal. So my big thing is, outside of the refereeing on that first goal, I actually blame Jorginho just as much as the refereeing for that goal. He should have cleared that. That was totally his fault.
You're very harsh on your homeboy.
I know, and I watched him be cued in the back too many times.
I know,
and I thought he could have gotten away with just clear that. He tried to flick it past.
Yeah.
You get rid of that. And then also he was caught out on the ground, and then it was a 1-2 back to each other. And then the shot came in from deep. I'm blanking on who scored. But
Højbjerg.
Yeah, Højbjerg. And that I thought was as much Jorginho's fault as their bad refereeing, which may be a hot take.
Yeah, it's spilled milk for me too, because the shitty part is like when a ref makes an obvious mistake like that, it is a bit hard to live with it, because you look, there's that one camera angle and he's looking like right, he's got a great view of it. So how he missed the call is brutal. Even the assistant ref on the sideline has a pretty good view of it too. So they both missed it is tough. But that was a long buildup after that. It's not like that led to like an immediate counter, and Jorginho had the ball in the box. And I kind of, sometimes that stuff happens. It sucks when it's pretty obvious like that, but they had the chance to get out of it and didn't accomplish that. So I don't know. I think as the manager, you got your boys back. You say, oh, that should have never gone in, of course, blah, 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 blah. But I think inside they know that they had a chance to get out of that and they screwed it up.
Yeah, but I thought Jorginho was probably, despite those couple of big mistakes leading to both almost goals. It was his best game in like 6 months at least.
I thought he actually did play well. I watched some of the rest of the game, and I thought he was good. And the problem is that as a sort of like defensive center midfielder, a midfielder like that, like you cannot be caught. I would say any outfield player should not be caught there, especially because it's not like, he had two guys around him. It's not like there was anywhere to go there. So that it's a little spilled milk, actually, as Brian would say. I think both of those led to the goal. The second goal, to me, is a little bit more of a head scratcher, but also at the end of the day, that was just a break.
Head scratcher, nice. More like a hair pull.
I don't know.
What I was going to say about Jorginho real fast, though, is that you said it's the best game he's played in a while. You must not have watched last week's game when he scored a penalty to beat Everton. He just buries penalties for Chelsea, buries them.
I know. I texted.
It was a professional penalty.
I know. I texted the group. I was like, guys, you'll never believe this. Jorginho made a penalty.
Oh, it's great. It's side net. It's perfect. Anyway.
But yeah. So in answer to your question, Chris, I just don't like Sterling, period. I know he had the assist on one of the goals, which is actually nice. But to be honest, he just needed to put that on a platter. I just don't like him. Period. I don't like his game.
Well,
I don't like his game central.
The Sterling thing is that he's a really good player unless he has to shoot. He had a chance. I can't remember if it was in the Everton game or if it was in this game, where it actually looked like, he gave it a good hit, but of course he placed it way over. His finishing is so disappointing over and over again. So when it's him dribbling, he's gotten a lot stronger on the ball. I thought there was several times where he's kind of able to keep guys off of him and stay on his feet and keep the ball, which is impressive. He's not a very big guy. So I think he's come a long way in that regard. He's influential, and he already looks good at Chelsea, I thought. He just cannot shoot. If it's like, hey, he's got to cut in and shoot, he just cannot do that. But passing and dribbling, I think he's actually pretty damn good at that.
Yeah. So basically, there's a couple of things on that. For me, I think he's one of like top 2 worst finisher of forwards in the world with Alvaro Morata.
That's
I mean,
hilarious. Yeah, I would agree.
I mean, Alvaro
Oh,
Morata.
you must have missed his 2 goals he scored yesterday.
Yeah, but Alvaro Morata, the problem with him is that he's a number 9 or a 9.5, where like Sterling plays a little bit more out wide, so you're a little bit, you give a little bit more slack to Sterling. Even though in the modern game you expect the wingers to basically be almost as prolific as number 9s. And also the other point for me is that basically Chelsea was trying to get Rafinha. I don't know if it was in addition to Sterling or if it was instead of him. And then Barcelona, with magic accounting, got Rafinha. And yeah, like I mean, it's amazing at Barcelona, Rafinha on one side and Dembele on the other. I mean, it's great.
Oh yeah. Never forget Ousmane Dembele. I for 1 second I forgot. Where is he? There he is. There he is.
But is Rafinha more of a winger than a striker?
Oh yeah, it's definitely a winger. He dribbles like nutmegs. Like he's basically Neymar at the beginning of his career.
What's crazy though, and then that Chelsea's going to do that. They don't have a center forward at all right now, like on the roster. They brought that like Broja guy in or whatever. It's like him and Michy Batshuayi, and that's it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Unless you count Kai Havertz.
Yeah.
Well, that's what he'll play.
Yeah, because they were trying to get Lewandowski, like everyone was, but Lewandowski only wanted Barcelona anyways. And like
I get that.
Chelsea, they were on all cylinders on all fronts, and they just like honestly, I think probably the best signing is the return from loan Conor Gallagher. If I'd be honest, no, sorry, Kalidou.
Oh yes.
Koulibaly.
Oh,
I forgot about Koulibaly. That should have been
what
in
a
the
big
Premier
piece.
League, but I will talk about that later.
I will say, by the way, I thought I was texting Brian during the game. So that finish was sick, and in fact, so sick that I would say he didn't mean it because the ball comes off of his shin.
Well, yeah, but he meant that.
Tricky.
Maybe he didn't hit it perfectly.
Yeah.
The defender is not a striker, man.
Yeah, dude. Let's get Colburn on the pitch in the middle of the box. Yeah, he snatched that ball.
I mean, like,
he can do that one.
I was gonna say I've got so many goals to my name. It's really tough to keep track of how many I've scored like that. So
he's left-footed, isn't he?
Oh, I have no idea.
That's
I think he is. I think it was his off foot.
It might be, yeah.
It was a good goal.
I will not accept any of that criticism.
I'm not taking anything away from it other than I do wonder. I wonder if he could do that twice.
That's like saying that like on Messi's little mini bike that he had against Clermont, that he didn't hit that perfectly off his foot.
Messi doesn't make mistakes. Koulibaly, I can't remember the last time. Actually, I can remember the last Koulibaly goal that I remember is the winner against Juve like 2 years ago in like the 90th minute.
Yeah,
that was a header.
I don't know if you saw that, but there was a meme basically, always comparing Messi to Ronaldo, even though there is no competition in my mind. But people, they don't really know about football, so that's why we're here. And they were like, "Oh, look at Messi when he does a bicycle. It's like a tiny bicycle, like 10 inches off the floor. And Ronaldo, when he does it, it's like 2 Eiffel Towers." I'm like, okay, pull your boat. Okay, this guy is athletic. He's great. He scores amazing goals, but like, can he dribbles like? The whole team and score a goal? I don't think so. So sorry. Oh yeah, but when he was 16, he was dribbling. Yeah, he was dribbling like 2 people. Messi dribbled the whole team.
Many times. This is kind of a dumb take on the Koulibaly and like the Perisic thing, but I find it very enjoyable when like good players come from other leagues that are considered to be like inferior and come in and it's like, oh yeah, no, these guys can play in the Prem too, no problem. No problem.
I mean, the Premier League is basically doing its market in Bundesliga. Everything comes from Bundesliga, Kai Havertz or Ajax. So, but like that's another thing. I'm sorry, I'm going on another tangent here. I'm trying not to, but Lewandowski. I don't know if you saw what he said after the game. He's like, "Oh my God, They come to the camp now and they were playing defense. They were 6 in the box. Like in Bundesliga, this never happens. It's difficult to score in La Liga and Liga when they only play defense and you guys make fun of Paris Saint-Germain. Sorry. Yeah, that game was great. And Coburn, do we want to talk about the drama between those two nervous coaches?
I have to say, you know who I side with? Unsurprisingly, it's
Conte?
my boy Antonio Conte. And
Can't believe it.
I know. I was gonna say Tuchel is a snake. Just kidding. Just kidding. You know what? I chalk it up to the first of all, that was a great game, early great Premier League game, and the tempers were high. And I think probably as a manager, having sort of been quote unquote robbed of 2 goals, I'd be pissed too. The celebration at the end of the second one was a little much for me. And in fact, Antonio Conte had said, if I had seen you running past me, I would have tripped you, and that would have been hilarious. So I actually think I am a big Antonio Conte. I just think I think both of them are warriors. To be honest, from both of them, if there's anything that I know, there's that video of Tuchel back when he was with what was it, Mainz? Coaching on the training pitch for people who weren't playing to the style that he wanted. I'll tell you this: both of those coaches are warriors, and so it doesn't surprise me that they would clash.
I think I've seen that meme, and I've seen it with like a French translation, a humoristical way, satire with a French humor, where they're like the fake translated what Tuchel was saying was like 999 like this, and basically it was at the time where Mbappe got like the best player award of the year in Liga. And they were like, there was like Tuchel going to Neymar and say to Mbappe, he's like, "Are you crazy? Like everyone was almost having a heart attack. Why are you doing that? Don't do that now. It's important for the team." And it was hilarious. But for me, for that whole spat and everything. So as again, it started as on the first goal of Tottenham when it wasn't called back, because I heard apparently it went too far, because as you said before, Coburn, is like Chelsea got possession back of the ball, and because of that, and that's the first time I hear that, I thought the rule was if the ball goes out of play, then you cannot go past that, and that's too late if the referee doesn't stop the game. So I thought that was reviewable, but apparently it wasn't. And so he got mad. And then Conte looked at Chelsea's bench, and when he celebrated, so Tuchel didn't really like that. And on the other one, he completely over exaggerated and went to the corner in front of and in the end, the handshake where he holds the hand, and like the picture you see on Colburn's where he goes like, "You need to look at me in the eye."
Yeah, look me in the eye.
And when you look at Tuchel doesn't look at him in the eye either. So it was just like double personality of those two, like on the pitch, like, and it was great. It was great, honestly. Like
it's great television, honestly. I know, great TV.
That's Premier League. That's what gets you when you wake up at 8 a.m. on a Sunday. So it better be good spectacle.
True. I think that Tuchel standing up to Conte is tight. I feel like because the first goal, Conte celebrates like crazy, kind of in his face-ish, not like overtly, but a little bit in his face. He wasn't having any of that. So then he fires back. I don't know. I feel like other managers might have been intimidated. Antonio's he's a fireball over there. So I kind of like it, and I think that Chelsea should be our team. We've got Captain America, Pulisic. We've got N'Golo Kanté strolling around defensive.
Yeah, and also my all-time favorite. Yeah,
blowing it. So I think that there's no other team that we can all get behind like Chelsea.
Chelsea's fun to watch. I thought they were the better team for almost the whole game. They've got the pieces, and also frankly they played better 2 years ago without a number 9. So I'd be curious to see kind of what it looks like this year. I really think those two managers are winners. So I'm confident that they will be forces to be reckoned with over the course of the season.
Yeah,
So
get some Wesley Fofana in defense, but Leicester is asking for a fee higher than Maguire. So, and Fofana really wants to leave. So, I would love to see some. Give me some Wesley Fofana at Chelsea. It would be my dark horse to make it to the 26-man squad to the French national team for this World Cup.
wow. Well, you heard it here first. I'm actually going to clip that off. I'll save that for later, Chris.
Then we'll definitely be Chelsea fans. You just need to get another Italian on the squad.
Yeah, in fact, I think actually Chelsea are close to signing one. They're signing a 23-year-old from Inter, according to Fabrizio.
Cesare, I don't know what. Sorry, I did with the American accent.
Yeah, Cesare. I don't even know him, but he's. I was looking at Fabrizio's.
Cesare? That's his
first name. I'll find it for us and get back to us. But we'll have plenty of people to root for. You know what's funny? You mentioned Harry Maguire, Chris. There's a certain team in the Premier League who has not gotten off to a strong start, to say the least, and that is Manchester United. Oh my God, 4-0 against Brentford this weekend. Can they go lower? Can they look worse than they did on Sunday? It would be hard pressed to find a team that's playing as poorly as they have played over probably the last 12 months, continue to suck into the new season.
Yeah, I mean, what can I say? Like the manager comes in, it's like, discipline. I know how to play. I'm tactician. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna make all those players play there in my 4-3-3 because in Netherlands that's what we like, 4-3-3. I got Jason Sancho and oh no, Anthony Martial got injured and that's why we didn't play as well. I mean, dude, like at home you're losing 4-0 in the first half. Like seriously. And you're playing Christian Eriksen as a registrar. What are you doing? I know you had him at Ajax a few years ago. I know, but like what are you doing? Like we're trying to reinvent something. You had Manchester United. Just get rid of McFred, the burger from the hole in the hole with McTominay and Fred. Get rid of them. Don't get Antoine Rabiot, but looks like that's what you're doing.
Oh, I hope that they get him.
I know they are getting him.
That will be a dream come true.
I mean, this guy is a steal, like playing for Paris Saint-Germain, and also being disrespectful to the club. He was like starting at being one of the first players leaving on free. To Juve, who thought like, oh, that's great. We're gonna give him a great salary. Like he's the second highest salary at Juve right now, and they don't want him anymore. And they have Pogba injured and everything. They could be like, oh, we need people in the midfield. And like, no, let's get rid of that guy. And Manchester United is like biting of it, and it's like, I mean, yes, he's physical and everything, but like. He's not honestly it's like it's an upgrade from McTominay and Fred, but he cannot do something on his own
But he doesn't run though, does he?
Huh?
Does he hustle? Does he run?
He doesn't do anything.
He doesn't like to hustle too much, but he does run actually. But his nickname is the Duke, because of his hair again. And also because he doesn't look like he's hustled too much on the pitch. He has a little bit of French, I forgot how you say that, nonchalance. But not the level, it's like, it's not like, it's not Milinkovic-Savic, it's not Casemiro, like it's not Tchouaméni, it's not Camavinga, even though he didn't have a good game this weekend. And it sounds like to me Manchester United right now is like what Arsenal was like just a couple years ago, where like they now they cannot attract good talent. Now they're like, oh no, let's not get in that dumpster fire. Where now actually Arsenal is finally making the right move, like Gabriel Jesus understanding that the guy is not in the right squad. He's maybe not like top level player, but just a little bit below. Zinchenko understanding that like same thing, and they're like, he played with Pep, and now he played with Arteta, who is like a mini Pep.
I thought he played well, by the way, Zinchenko this weekend.
Yeah. So they got a good goalkeeper, getting Saliba. Amazing performances on his first game.
Although I will say he had the own goal, which
but that happens.
which was miserable.
That happens.
It was actually a brilliant finish by him.
I know, it was great.
It was great finish.
He's not really good at placement, and he's very fast. So that's why he relies a little bit too much on his speed to get back. But he needs to learn a little bit more about placement. So yeah, sorry, we went a little bit away from the topic.
But I'm just gonna read you the starting 11 from yesterday. So De Gea in goal, Luke Shaw, Lisandro Martinez, who by the way came off after 45 minutes for Varane. Harry Maguire picked up a yellow card, which is actually the only highlight for Man United in the first half. Dalot in right back, then Eriksen, Fred, Ronaldo, Jadon Sancho, Bruno Fernandes, and Rashford. Well,
it's just a mess. That's the thing. Like, I can't remember where I read it, but the Brentford players covered like an extra, like, I don't know, 10 miles or some crazy number in that game. And Ten Hag's like, oh, I'm gonna like make them run that like extra like 10 miles, and then we were supposed to have an off day or whatever, blah blah blah. But that's like such an obvious stat right there. It's like, hey, we don't have guys that actually like run around, and then they're gonna go buy another guy that doesn't run around. Like, what? It's so obvious. But they need guys that are gonna go in there and work.
They need MLS players.
They do, yeah. MLS players with some skill. I guess McTominay probably runs, but I don't know.
Oh, he's lousy too.
Man United was supposed to have a day off today, but basically the total squad running miles, I think it was like 13.8 miles or kilometers, which is a big difference. A gap between the total miles run by the Man United squad against Brentford. And so basically Ten Hag were like, okay, you guys don't have day off today. You guys gonna run 13.8 miles today. So he's trying to
That's what I just said, Chris.
Yeah, Chris, huh? you might
have I'm here for you, man.
Chris, you just said that.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry.
I know you ducked out for a second, but I think it's hilarious. Here's my question though. Is this the bottom? I have to say, I actually don't think it is the bottom. They will suck continuously. I don't see a reason why they will turn it around.
Yeah, they almost bought Arnautovic.
Oh yeah,
I'm not even joking. The fans have to be like, what are you guys doing? To be like, okay, we're calling off. And I don't understand why they're not even calling off Adrien Rabiot. I mean, honestly,
I hope they get him.
So that's the thing I really want to know is like, is it really what I'm saying that like actually players know it's a dumpster fire and they don't even want to join? So for example, Antoine Griezmann, who's not at he's past his prime, right? He's a fan of Man United.
He scored a good goal yesterday too, Chris.
Yeah.
You must have missed the Atletico highlights. They scored some good goals.
No, that was today. What are you talking about?
That was yesterday.
Today. 10 a.m. Pacific time.
Nice.
Yikes.
All right. Touche.
I mean, also like the wife doesn't really like too much to get a little bit further than Madrid, so that's a big problem because there are just like two big clubs in Madrid.
Also, Manchester in the winter is probably a little bit lower on the list.
So I mean, putting that aside, he's a big fan of Man United, and like Premier League could pay his like huge $17 million year salary. But like even him, like I think he prefers to stay at Atletico de Madrid than go there. It's like when you see the quality of player that they can attract now, it's like, you know, and also like they have an academy. So what's going on with that? Like, can you like just not take a look at the academy and like there is probably one?
That's a great point. How many academy players are in there on their bench?
They're all strikers. They're all strikers and wingers. Every time they bring somebody up, it's like Elanga or Greenwood or Rashford. They're all strikers.
Yeah. They had also like this French Tunisian guy, Hannibal Mejri, who was a winger and also a little bit too emotional and nervous on the pitch also, and needed to mature a little bit. But yeah, like just don't like buy like other players. Just like identify one player per year. And no, they also had like Dean Anderson, and they kept De Gea. And you see, and Dean Anderson for me, it was on the same level as Ramsdale, like at Arsenal, and I playing well Ramsdale. So another mistake here, you see. And
The
also
De
like,
Gea, by the way, the De Gea, the first goal was
Horrible.
awful.
yeah,
Awful.
Chris, it gets really simple. It's my ultimate philosophy. Bad teams make bad decisions. They kept David De Gea. He stinks now. Bad decision.
that's true. But that's the thing for me. I think it's a mix of the scouting, recruiting team, front office sucks, and on couple with the attractiveness factor, which basically now they cannot attract the top players, right? Like Cristiano Ronaldo doesn't want to stay. We haven't even talked about that. The guy.
Also, he
Get
can't.
rid of him.
He needs to go too. He's part of the problem. Although he's still great, they've spent too much money on him. He can't contribute. Like he doesn't bring what they need.
Yeah,
No,
but he
he
wants to
doesn't.
go, but no one wants him. He's been offered a run, and the reason why he wants to leave is not just because Manchester United sucks, it's because they don't play Champions League, and he wants to increase his goal scoring record, because there is a reform of the Champions League that will start season 2024-2025, I believe. That will start with like a mini Super Cup, Europa Super Cup, with like the winner and like 3 other clubs that will be designated that we don't know how, and that potentially will be in the US. So probably Real Madrid, Barcelona will automatically be selected, and English teams to make sure the stadium is packed. But that's a different story, and there will be more games. There will be more games. There will be, I believe, 4 more games per team. So more games equals more money. As we know in NFL, they're trying to be like more games, more games. So that's why he's scared of Haaland or Holland, sorry, with the right accent, and Mbappe. Holland. And Mbappe. And so that's why he's like now, like honestly, like now he's the end of his career. It's getting sad. Like honestly, I'd rather see him in LA Galaxy or LAFC. Like now it's getting like,
We'd love that.
Yeah, we'd love
He's not dead yet, though. That's the thing. Like he just,
but
I
no.
don't know. He needs to leave Man United.
He's just
sure,
he's not what they need. I just can't believe that as an organization, you would look at that dumpster fire. You'd look at a 4-0 loss to Brentford. You go, you know what we need? Rabio. That to me is the problem. That is the core of the issue. That's the guy that you're like, hey, we need. That's who's going to.
Especially when you just got outworked by 10 miles or whatever it was.
I would go find the hardest working guy and to just get a locker room guy. You need an N'Golo Conte part 2. Just get someone who works hard and stick him in the midfield and say, I need you to run your ass off.
Yeah, they need that. That's right. But I think in terms of attractiveness, power or factor, I don't think they can get like a top player at this level. So they need to get basically N'Golo Conte at Leicester before he was known to anyone, right? Like even in France, I didn't know N'Golo Conte at the time when he went from Caen, a second-tier level, and went to Leicester. So they basically, that's why they are like they're going to Ajax, because the coach from Ajax, so he knows them. And this is like, you see, he's making the same mistake. He's trying to get these guys, like he's trying to do this old school stuff that we see also in business. I need my guys. And like Lisandro Martinez is amazing, but he's too short for Premier League, and he's not physical enough for Premier League. It's not gonna work. He wants I forgot the Moroccan guy. I forgot that plays for Chelsea.
Ziyech.
Ziyech, yeah, he wants Ziyech, but there is a reason why he's not working at Chelsea. Besides issue with Tuchel, and he's not physical enough for Premier League. So I don't think it's gonna work. That's why Timo Werner, they're like, sorry, dude, that's not gonna work. Go back.
It's just not a Champions League winning midfield.
Dude, it's always the midfield. These teams that are good have good midfield always.
Fred,
I can't believe that these teams try to fix these
McTominay.
things by like going like, oh, we need a winger. Like, no, it's never the answer. You only need the winger when you've got the midfield first.
Yeah, Barcelona does that too.
Yeah, and if you want
Yeah, and they've
midfield,
been just as dumb too.
there is plenty of defensive midfield or CMs in the Brasileiro Serie A. Danilo, 21, everyone wants him, and he's not been bought yet. So everyone wants him. Like honestly, like I think he would want to go to Premier League and he would be fine with Manchester United, right? Because they'll be like, you're a starter, man.
Get in here.
Here are the keys. You run the team.
It's the keys. You don't even speak English. That's fine. Here you go, man. Fred will be here. He will show you the installation, but he will not be on the pitch with you. So, yeah,
Don't give him the keys.
That's right. That's the thing. This weekend there is a battle of relegation against Liverpool.
Oh, that's right. They're playing Liverpool this weekend. That'll be a joy. I cannot wait for that game. That is going to be also Liverpool is a little bizarre. Yeah. Liverpool is two draws is a little tough to start. So it feels like maybe this could be a bit of a rough season for them. Usually they start pretty hot, but they should still smoke Man United.
Yeah.
Unless they're really not playing.
It's
well, at which point
it's on Monday.
Again.
The game's on Monday.
So one thing for me is really about. Hey, you're right. Is about the best obviously application in the world, SofaScore. If you guys don't know about it yet, and that's on this application. You can.
Oh, if you want to sponsor us, SofaScore, we're open to that.
SofaScore was sick when I was in Greece for the honeymoon.
Hit us up. Hit us up.
Kalidou Koulibaly is right preferred foot. So there you go.
I'm gonna check FIFA.
How many stars?
So Liverpool, we just spoke about this. On the previous. You need a Champions League winning midfield. Okay, so let's take a look. Fabinho, perfect, nothing to say, world class. Anderson, getting old, getting injured a lot, just like Kante. I love the energy, but technically, really good cross, but technically, okay, he's a guy of the club, so okay. But he gets injured a lot. Thiago Alcantara, very technical, maybe not too on the verge of not being physical enough for Premier League, gets injured a lot. And that's what happens. And they didn't buy anyone for them.
James Milner is 85 years old.
I was counting. Gonna say, yeah. And he's always there, like that's why he's playing right now, because he's never injured.
Naby Keita is okay.
Naby Keita, but that's the thing, he also gets injured and he's not been lived up to the expectations. He was supposed to be part of the rotation. They didn't get Tchouaméni, but like now, like they're like, oh yeah, our mercato, our trading window is over. We don't need anyone. Did you see like what Manchester City did? Because like they got Julian Alvarez. I mean that's up top, but like and like it's with Pep, it's always like this, like Gundogan, I don't really like you this season, and then the season afterwards is like the key of the midfield of the next season. Rodri and like all the backups and like and you think Mahrez is not gonna play, like they have like two teams basically.
Oh, and they put Bournemouth to the sword this weekend. I know. It was like they didn't even get out of second gear.
I know. I triple captain.
They bought Calvin Phillips.
I forgot because he hasn't played yet. Is he injured?
Yorkshire Pirlo.
No, but like seriously, like Calvin Phillips, even though I'm not a big fan, just like Declan Rice. Like for example, like Liverpool, like now after that game, their front office, even though like their I think he was like Michael Edwards, I believe, was the sporting director. He left, but like after seeing the game today, they'll be like, I think we have a problem in the midfield, and they'll be like, Declan Rice is still at West Ham, like okay, pay the 100 million. I mean, I'm not again a big fan of Calvin Phillips, neither about Declan Rice, but I know that they are the level that maybe they could progress and improve, and they need, and Manchester United, Manchester City, identify their weaknesses, and they do. Like Liverpool, they're like, we've known their midfield. We know their midfield. They have like one starting team of three in the midfield, and they don't have backups. And like the RV Elliott and all that stuff. I know it's good for one game, but then they cannot be part of like the full rotation. They can play League Cup, FA Cup, but they can't play. So that's a problem. Because like I saw a lot of now you're missing Sadio Mane. That's not what the problem was of the game today. So and I mean the hot take here is like, was Sadio Mane more important than Salah? I don't know what you guys.
That is hot. I don't know. My question would be, Brian, do you think that if you're Liverpool, you're worried?
Yeah, they're not as deep. Yeah, as
I would agree.
Man City's depth is unbelievable. So like they're so tailor-made and set up to win every league going forward. So yeah, I would be worried every season. And I mean, if you look at the start, Crystal Palace today at home and at Fulham just promoted, get 2 points out of that. That's already that's shitty. Like that will come back to bite you immediately. Even though it's only 2 games in, I mean, the level that Man City's at requires almost perfection, and you can't be dropping points against these like lousy teams.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
it's crazy. Man City's going to score near 100 points again, almost guaranteed.
Yeah. By the way, last comments here, and then we'll move on to the French league, which we're going to love to talk about here. But to answer your question, Chris, I actually think it's a Batman and Robin combo. I think you need Salah and Mane together. So I don't know if it's one or the other, but having them both opposite each other, I think was complementary. Whereas now they have issues. I would be curious to see if Salah is going to carry the team like he did at Roma, where he has a little bit less around him. So we'll see how that goes. So with that,
I think he
Chris,
will be a Europa League player.
He might actually
way back in the day.
Yeah, I know. So long story short there, Chris, Brian and I said that Mohamed Salah was quote unquote a Europa League player right before his move to Liverpool, which turned out to be spot on. So
you're not the only one. I think like 80% of the people thought like, why Mohamed Salah? This guy is, as we say in French, he's just a straightaway guy. He just run straight, and that's all he does. And
that's what we thought too.
He got changed a little bit by.
I watched him for multiple years in Roma do that, but so Chris, I'm just going to hand you the mic on this one. All I have to say is there trouble in paradise? Neymar and Mbappe. That might be the next WWE cage match. A little dust up in the locker room after the game yesterday. Of course, they smoked. Who was it? Montpellier. Yeah, they smoked them. I watched the highlights from that game. Yet another easy victory for PSG. Although I actually think they played better in the week prior, having watched these highlights. But Chris, I just want to, I want to get your take on the game quickly, and then more importantly, I just kind of want to hear what you have to say for the people.
That's right. So Paris Saint-Germain playing his first game at home of the season, week 2. So 2 games in. So just to give a little bit quick context. So after the last season, which was horrendous in terms of playmaking, in terms of team spirit, it wasn't really a club or a professional club. It was more of a circus last year. But they had such a big gap that they ended up winning, and it was carried by one man last year, because Neymar was obviously half of the time injured, as much as Verratti. However, Verratti has been getting less injured, and he hasn't gotten any yellow cards yet. Maybe getting married helps. Just saying.
Wow.
I thought he played well yesterday and the week before. I thought he's been good.
Just like Gigi Buffon, he got caught while signing autographs with cigarettes in his hand. But that's part of the Italian patrimony, so that's okay. But basically, then they're like, okay, at the end of the season, they had to resign Mbappe, and part of the deal of resigning Mbappe is like, we need a sporting director, we need to become more professional, and no more drama, no more people not showing up to training on time, no more putting the training in the afternoon so Neymar can arrive not drunk and not late to training. Real professional team have one session in the morning, one in the afternoon, and start at 9 a.m. If you're late, there is a fine, blah, blah, blah. Like classic stuff, like what exactly Xavi did when he arrived at Barcelona. We're like, Piqué, you're not showing up on a scooter to the stadium. You go in the team bus or you go in the car, you're not showing up in a scooter. Like, stuff like this is just image, but you saw, that's all you saw in social media. So they're like, okay, we get Luis Campos. Luis Campos was basically a magician, a sporting director. He built the whole team of Monaco. And who was in Monaco and who was discovered in Monaco? Oh, yes, that's right. Kylian Mbappe, Fabinho, Bernardo Silva. So small players, right? That he discovered and no one knew before. And that's the team, they won the Ligue 1 in 2017. And then all those players went to Manchester City and Liverpool, and Paris Saint-Germain became like world-class players. And so he's like, I want him to be the sporting director if you want me to sign him. And he's going to be the one that says to Neymar, you show up, otherwise you don't play. He's also, by the way, a special advisor to Celta Vigo, and he hired Luca de la Torre. So Luca de la Torre is pretty good, as we all thought. But if Luis Campos thinks Luca de la Torre, even though he didn't play so far, but that means he must be good. So that's the parenthesis. But okay, then they start playing. Messi's on fire coming back, and Neymar, he got picked in his ego because there were rumors of like, we want to sell him, and Chelsea, like obviously has money and wants to buy everyone. It's like, okay, you guys want to sell Neymar? Okay, yeah, we want to hear. And Neymar wasn't really happy. He had to, no, I'm staying. I have a 5-year contract remaining. I'm staying here. I'm not moving. And he's starting like not arriving fit, not playing too much games and poker at night, and sleeping and not drinking too much as before. And he's been on fire, like scoring almost a hat-trick from the Trophée des Champions, which is the equivalent of the Community Shield. And the season was perfect, starting to do what PSG should do in Ligue 1, like at the Ibrahimovic years, where basically the scoreline was 5-1, 5-2, 6-2. So basically the first 2 games were that scoreline. And I haven't seen PSG plays that well like since the Tourelle first 6 months. And obviously, as you mentioned, problem in paradise. This would be too good. Like Paris Saint-Germain plays well, Messi, Neymar connections going well, but Mbappe was injured for the first game and suspended for the Trophée des Champions. And so it was only Neymar and Messi playing well. And so that gives us the question, can they play the 3 of us together? And the reason is, and the answer is yes, but that means one of those 2 players has to take the lieutenant cap and not the general's hat. A little bit like when Benzema saw Cristiano arriving at Real Madrid, even though they arrived at the same time. But basically, he saw games recognized games. He's like, yeah, that dude, I think he's a little bit better than I am. So I'm going to have to play the playmaker and the assist. And I'm only going to be able to score 15 goals a season tops. And he's going to score 50. And when Cristiano left, then Benzema started scoring 40 goals a season. And so now it's a fight. A fight. It's there is a
is there?
Could be a fight.
No. It's nothing. It's nothing. It's just about taking penalty. And so part of the deal to resign is like, now I am the biggest salary of the club. So that means I have responsibility. Now it's my team. Neymar, when he arrived, it was his team, but he got injured and he wasn't there at the right time. And he wasn't serious. So now it's my team as Mbappe. And because it's my team, I have to hold responsibilities, right?
I take the penalties.
I take the penalties. And so that's where it gets ridiculous. And that's why like those are the best players in the world with like huge ego and everything and like this. Obviously, I love Mbappe because I'm French. But the ego stuff, and I know that's part of like, like his role model is Cristiano Ronaldo, and we are seeing this right now. And he has a lot of reaction like him. The best penalty taker almost in the world for all time is Neymar. The way he scores, the way the style, like even Pele missed some, even Maradona missed some, and Neymar missed some. And when he missed them, it looks ridiculous. Like I've seen where like the goalkeeper puts himself a little bit more to the right, and he didn't know what was going on, and he missed that, and that looks ridiculous when he missed those because he waits and the goalkeeper wasn't moving. But Mbappe is missed like against Switzerland. He's missed that one. And honestly, if that makes Neymar happy and he's like the best penalty taker, he should take them. But at the same time, you have to think about, but is Neymar going to get injured at the important time? And then do I need to get real practice to take those shots? And so that's maybe what he thinks, because like in 5 games, maybe Neymar gets injured. And we don't want that for the World Cup. But that's this whole thing where basically Mbappe is like, now I'm the boss of the team. I need to take the penalties. And he missed it. And he was like, no, I'm taking it again. And Neymar was basically, no, the ball's mine. Ball's mine, man, dude, no. And he was pissed. And even when he scored like a pretty good goal, I thought, on that corner, and I watched him on the corner, and I felt that he was gonna score for some reason, and he did. He wasn't happy, and that's one thing he needs to remember. Like the ball as a through ball, or the ball to get to him, it goes to Neymar, and so he needs to be on Neymar's good side. And he doesn't want to make that move, right? He wants to be like, no, I've taken too many steps back. Now Neymar has to give way, and I understand, because like he carried the team the last 2 years, and I would be pissed if I were him. But again, if
I'm looking up the best penalty takers of all time. I'm trying to find the answer for who's a better penalty taker. I mean, I guess you'd have to look up the ratios. I will say
Matthew Letizia.
I know, that's what I found, but I was trying to figure out whether like
who I know
who. Okay, between the three of them, what is their ratio?
Neymar is 82%. Mbappe is 80%. Messi, I don't know his ratio, but L'Equipe did like something today.
What I will say is this, right? So
actually, the English are good, except for in like World Cups and stuff. These random English players, like Steven Gerrard and Frank Lampard, they used to just bang in penalties.
Not Beckham though.
That's an interesting caveat. I will say, who seems to me to be the third wheel here actually is Messi. Which is interesting because I would say, arguably.
Whoa, guys! No, I'm not. I'm number one. My team.
That's my question, right? Is like, I mean, first of all, Messi's not that kind of guy. Messi's kind of like he doesn't play the ego game like that. But also he's, I think he's had now a season now to adapt to both of them together. And their egos are double his, at least in that way. So I think it's interesting that he's taken a back seat to that. Like, I mean, I don't know if he's taking he probably took a penalty.
Perfect. He'll be the Benzema and pull the strings. He's good at that too. So
yeah, he's gonna score 25.
He'll good at what he's like, whatever you need.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the thing. I'm probably team Mbappe overall, but
team Messi. Oh, yeah, Mbappe. Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, of the two of them, yeah, I mean, because Neymar to me on the field is unbearable sometimes, even though I do enjoy
even though he's getting better this season.
Yeah, I will say as a penalty taker though, I tend to trust Neymar a little bit more.
Yes.
I just feel like he delivers.
Mbappe is not a good penalty taker.
No,
like,
and then well, actually the penalty he had yesterday was not good.
it was awful. Like, yeah, it was awful. Even like Benzema is not, even though obviously he scored this Panenka, that was amazing.
Oh, it's one of the all-time greats, by the way. That Benzema goal. Brian and I were watching that together. Oh.
Incredible.
But we won't stroke that side too much here, Chris. Yeah.
It's okay. Christian Pulisic is the better penalty taker than Mbappe, because he doesn't take. I like the way he takes them. He takes like 3 steps back. So not like Mbappe, like he does like this weird spot. Like you think like he's like playing a 5, like he's like I'm like, dude, this is serious. Like don't play it like casually, like you play 2K. And Christian Pulisic, he doesn't joke about it. It's like 3 steps back, and I'm gonna put it. You know where I'm gonna put it? It's gonna be square 90 under your left side, but it's square 90. You cannot do anything against that. And that's how like the best penalty taker they take it is that way, or like the Neymar stuff, where like you do like the little foot and like I put the other side of the goalkeeper. So those are the 2 ways to do it. And the other way, which is like, well, I'm gonna pick my side, or well, I'm just gonna wait, and I don't know, and that doesn't work. So and okay, so the last context I had is that last year when Messi was not doing well, Mbappe was like, okay, he took the ball like he was like the bigger player, he was the older, like, here you go, Messi, I give you the ball so that you can feel better. And so that he's probably thinking about that, like it's my first game of the season. I need to open my scoring sheet. So he wanted the ball, and that's why. And like Neymar's like, no, dude, you missed your spot, too bad for you. It's my turn now. And Neymar was like, he had like absolutely no sympathy, and he was like, dude, like in his head, he was like, when you guys were not doing great, I give you the ball. And Neymar was like, yeah, that's normal. I'm the best. And that's the problem. Is like one of the two is gonna have to give way, and Mbappe is rising, and Neymar is declining, but he thinks he's still at the top. And so that's gonna be a problem. So yesterday, Luis Campos and the coach Galtier got them in a meeting and be like, hey, you guys, sounds like we are like in a sandbox battle. So here is it for penalty. That's Mbappe number 1, you're number 2. You give him the ball, and that's how it is. And I don't want anyone to be like a 2-year-old anymore. So otherwise, they're gonna be sanctioned, and that's exactly how you manage a club. And that kind of stuff never happened at Paris Saint-Germain before. So that's why I'm like, that's why like crises averted.
We love that.
And it's from both sides. It's not just for like Neymar and Mbappe. It's like Mbappe also. I don't know if you saw. Like he went on a run and he didn't get the ball, and he went like, and he stopped.
Yes, he was complaining.
And I'm like, I mean, there is two arguments of that side. So what I was hearing from a French pundit is like, I'm happy he did that because, like, let me tell you, Vitinha, the next time he's not gonna do that. He's gonna give him the ball. And I agree with that. But then at the same time, you cannot do that. It's not like that's he's taking the worst part of Cristiano Ronaldo. And I hate that side.
Although, did Messi have the ball in that case?
That was like me on last Tuesday. I made this great run, and I didn't slide me in. I put my hand up and I subbed myself off. I was like, screw this. Making great runs out here. You got to give me the ball.
Messi got the ball. He got the full ball to Hakimi, and then Hakimi was looking for Mbappe in the box, and there was no one. He beat the defense, and like should have Mbappe continue his run, he would probably have scored the tap in. So that showed like that was very stupid of him, and probably was frustrated because he came back from like a sore muscle. So he probably wasn't 100%, and he probably couldn't be as fast as he was before, and that probably was frustration from that too. But for me, I hope like there is someone in the assistant coach Sacramento, which was with which was in the squad, the staff of Jose Mourinho at Tottenham. He's supposed to be the video analyst and the very tactician, because Christophe Galtier is a bit first on tactics, as any French coach are typically, and his team is starting 11 is a 4-4-2, but you can't play that at the high level. It has to be 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. He plays a 3-4-3. So or more like a 3-2-5-1 5-1, but that's a different story. So he knows how to play all the tactics, and so he's telling him how to do that. And I hope Sacramento went like, hey, Mbappe, like, look at what you did. Like, you stop your run. There was your boy Hakimi, because Mbappe, Hakimi, they're like this. Like last year, they were like sitting down at the gas station, like in the, I don't know, like in the countryside of France, on the floor, sitting like this with their joggings and like eating a cereal bar. Like they were like, and they play on Twitch together. Like they're like more close than Messi and Neymar together. And so maybe Hakimi to me, like, dude, I could have scored an assist. Like, where were you? And like, you know, that makes him laugh, and he will understand. I hope they're like, dude, you could have scored the easy one here if you just, and maybe he learns, he listens a lot. But I understand from the ego, be like, hey, we said like we signed, I'm the boss now, and now Neymar is pretending he's the boss. Like he had 5 years, he didn't win the Champions League, he wasn't professional. Now it's my turn, and that's why I understand Mbappe. Even from the outside, it doesn't look like this. From the outside, it looks like it's Mbappe doing a spat, and he's doing one. But I understand a little bit more.
I think that's about as complete a breakdown as I could have done. So,
that's right. Paris Saint-Germain Lille this weekend, and the weekend after Paris Saint-Germain Monaco. So that should be a better test. Even Lille
so I watched that
with Timothy Weah. So you guys can watch him not play well and think like maybe he should be starting now. Oh my God, Timmy Weah is a starter over Brendan Aronson. And like, okay, you guys don't understand. You guys don't watch Timothy
not as spoiled
Weah
as you with all the French guys.
Yeah, the French could field. Yeah, the French could field like 4 World Cup teams.
They could field 4 American teams.
Alexis
sure,
Lalas,
at least.
Timothy Weah is my starter on the wing. Brendan Aronson is only on the bench.
Yeah. Oh, also Alexi Lalas.
Yeah,
Alexi Lalas said that I think like Weston McKennie would be good for Man United. So,
he does run.
Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. But last, any final thoughts on that, Brian?
Nope. I'm Team Messi.
Yeah.
That's my thought.
That's great. So we're gonna do a quick rapid fire round. I want to do super fast. So number 1 transfer impact of the season. People who are gonna make the biggest impact of any summer transfer signing on their new clubs. You can pick anybody anywhere. My pick is going to be Erling Haaland. That guy has been totally on fire for the past.
That was my pick. You have to go first. You teed it up for yourself.
Yeah. Here's a T, and but you can have the same pick as me. I'm going to say, how about this? Remo Freuler for Nottingham Forest will be a huge signing.
Sorry,
I love that you were able to sneak that in. I was going to call him too, because I think that he's going to take them over the top to win the Champions League. This is the key piece they've been missing. But yeah, no, that's not my answer.
The problem is he's had like 20 touches in 2 games, but I think that's interesting because he's still sick and he's actually been contributing.
De Bruyne is just serving it into him. That guy's the biggest boss. Instead of like Gabriel Jesus like flooding these chances, dude, he's not going to miss any of these. And he's huge. Yeah, he's unfair. Dude, Man City is ridiculous.
They just need to adapt to know like instead of striking the ball, now they need to pass it to him. Because that's what has been shown in the last game, where now they can do crosses actually, and that's perfect for De Bruyne, as you said. But like the other player, like the Mahrez, the Grealish, and Foden, now they know that they're like, you guys don't have to dribble and finish it. You can just do like a football pass or like a chip over and like a volley or anything. Like he'll finish everything. Yeah, exactly.
Chris, who is it for you?
Who is it for me? It's Gabriel Jesus.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah. I think he's the key missing piece for Arsenal to finish top 4. Plus other signing at every lines that's been very important. But from his time at Man City, it seemed that like he was like the kind of 9 that wasn't really a 9. Like he was played a lot on the wing. and like he was missing a lot. And I think he was more like maybe there was a little bit too much pressure for him and Man City to score like when he was to be a super sub, and that's not who he is. Maybe he needs more trust in him and like to be a starter to actually get the machine going like he did.
Chris, he has that problem for Brazil as well.
Yeah, that's why they play Neymar as a false nine now. But
I still like him though. I'm not actually ripping on him. I like him.
Did you see the goal he scored? That was amazing, and I saw it coming. I'm like, no, he's not gonna do a Thierry Henry, and he did a Thierry Henry. It was amazing. Like it was very difficult to score, and it was amazing. Like honestly, like it's not Alvaro Morata that will score that kind of goal. Let me tell you.
Oh,
wow!
Scored 2 sick goals today.
I mean, yeah. I mean, like Lewandowski even this weekend couldn't even score. I mean, like he didn't even get a real chance. Let's be honest. And he's starting to understand that like there's gonna have a defender a little bit more surrounding him, so he's gonna have to change his game and not be able to score 50 goals a season. But that doesn't change that like he's a top number 9. He's not number 1. Obviously, number 1 is carrying the dream, but we all know that.
We almost made it the whole episode.
I will say, yeah, almost. I will say, Barcelona has this weird thing with Rayo Vallecano, so maybe they'll get back into gear with whoever they play this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it wasn't just him. Like even like after I saw the friendlies, I was like, oh my god, like Rafinha, Dembele's on fire, and Lewandowski was a little bit frustrated, but like those two wingers and like Dembele didn't barely dribble, and like the cross wasn't what it was supposed to be, like based on last season performances. Rafinha also, so that was like the pressure of the first game maybe, and even like I didn't see too much Pedri magic, and also like they're doing that stupid thing with like De Jong, like still like he's clearly missing in the midfield right now, and they want to sell him off because they have to, but that's a different story. But like, yeah, Gabriel Jesus, I think he's gonna score a lot of goals, and I think that's gonna be a tie with him with Holland to see who's gonna be the Golden Boot in the Premier League.
I might change my answer to Koulibaly actually, so that I don't have to also do Holland.
Oh, I do love Koulibaly. He's great.
Koulibaly replacing Rudiger, him and Thiago Silva. That's a nice little, nice combo. I've watched both Chelsea's games so far this year. Those guys are great. They're great players.
I would love to have Koulibaly in the French national team. That's one of the key.
So greedy,
Is he French or is he actually from Senegal?
No, like they're all born in like Sarcelles, like they are born around Paris, and they just like don't think they're gonna make it and not gonna be good enough, or like they're called in too quickly, or some of them now they're like, for example, Nabil Fekir. He said yesterday that like his parents, his whole family really wanted, because he's born in Lyon, but his family were born over there, and the whole family, they wanted him to play for Algeria. I mean, here we see that very often with like Mexican American, right? Where like they're born here, but like the whole family watch Liga MX, and they speak Spanish in the household. Like that's the same thing. They speak Arabic in the household, and like they go back in the summer. So it's a very similar story for French and Algerian binationals. But you know, the gap between the teams, it used to be bigger, and now Algeria has like a lot of talent coming up down the pipeline, with Yassine Adli coming in, and probably Oussem Aouar switching from France to Algeria.
He's gonna actually ruin my FIFA team's chemistry now that he switched from the French national team. I no longer have use for him in the midfield.
Who's switching?
Oussem Aouar from Lyon.
Oh, really?
He's supposed to sign for Nottingham Forest.
Wow.
Yeah, he only played a friendly, I believe, against Ukraine. I never got called back. And Yassine Adli has played all the French under 20, 19, and 18. And he's at Milan AC right now. And you know, I would like to believe, and I hope that is true, that like they do feel it, and don't do it just for the opportunity, even though they are obviously allowed to do so for career-wise. But as I mentioned, it's going to be easier to qualify. Instead of 9, I believe it's going to be 15 or almost double African nation that qualifies. And in Europe, there's going to be more nations. And like honestly, like Algeria, like the playoffs, they were awful. Like almost all the playoffs, all those two teams, they were like final stage World Cup stage pool group teams, like better than some of the Asian and Middle East team, honestly. And so Algeria and Cameroon, and that was, I would have loved to have both teams at the World Cup, right? And so they know that now for the
World Cup. Speaking of World Cup, by the way, that's a great transition, actually, to what Brian and I are wearing today, and what Chris is going to be wearing very soon. Is most importantly ahead of the World Cup is the World Cup jersey reveal. So first of all, I'm wearing my my Mexico La Selección Mexicana jersey. I've been waiting for the U.S. men's national team jersey. Brian has got on his Argentina Messi jersey. Chris, I know you'll be getting France. The thing that people are most concerned about today are the leaks associated with the U.S. men's national team jersey release. Now, for those of you who may not know, there have been a couple out there. The latest one coming from USMNT only Twitter account, which is obviously a dedicated follower of the U.S. men's national team news, tweeting a leaked quote unquote image of the latest jersey. So Chris, we'll start with you. Are any of the jerseys that we've seen so far the United States men's national team jersey they'll be wearing in Qatar this winter?
I mean, I would like the Waldo to become a staple or something a little bit more designed. But what we saw basically looks like a templated training jersey. Like if you look at the Paris Saint-Germain white training jersey, there is like a little bit of a triangle near the neck, and you have the same pattern on those leaks. So honestly, the blue one looks like maybe could be true. The white one really truly looks like a training, and that might be like just.
It actually looks from like 2002.
Yeah, it looks like a little bit like a joke. This might be just a joke for us to get some hypes up when like to set expectation to be like, okay, those ones are horrible. And when the real one comes out, even though they're not great, they're like, okay, this is much better than what we saw. So we'll buy them. So because those ones, they will only be sold exclusively at TJ Maxx for $4.99. So
those also, by the way, also Weston McKinney tweeted, I tried to tell them, with a sad crying face. So that added some fuel to the fire on the latest release. So whereas our boy Tim Weah said they were going to be fired. So I have to believe those aren't real, just simply because usually there's a little more dedicated, styling of it. I hope those are all fake. I'm ready for some fire kits. To me, that's half the battle.
I'm going to buy one anyway. I'm just telling you right now. Even if it's that awful kit that we just saw, I'll buy it. I need one, dude. I'm still rocking around that Michael Bradley from like 12 years ago. We need an upgrade.
Yeah, that's past time. That's right. Even you're a good fan, right? You're a good fan. You're not a bandwagon. That's great. We need more fans like you in the US. Chris,
you'll be getting the French jersey, I assume.
I will get two. That's the first time I will get the same edition. It will be like the first time I get a blue one in a long time, because I've been getting the white ones, which have been very stylish, but I'm very reluctant to actually wear them because then they get stained very quickly if I don't eat very well. So, or spaghetti bolognese. I'll be getting obviously Karim, the dream, and the big boy here, Kylian Mbappe. So.
What a combo!
I know. But I've been trying to be not too superstitious and not like say that too much out loud, and because this will be and obviously one in a lifetime World Cup by being in the winner, and so there won't be any preparation, and so like if you get injured, like, for example, Pogba, like he had to forego surgery to have a chance to make it to the World Cup. So I don't want to say that, so that then I don't know, like if Karim the Dream or Kylian Mbappe get injured. So and Chiesa, that brings me back. Chiesa should be back on the pitch in September. So that's something good to look forward to.
You know what, Chris? Weirdly, I'm not really looking forward to that, but I will tell you this: if you're interested in joining me for the Serie A this winter, I'll still be looking forward to that here in the United States. That will be my World Cup.
Yeah, when they organize the tournament in the US, when the World Cup is playing, right? I hope they pick the.
All the Italians will be there. All of them, every single one.
That's coming up. Have they organized this yet, or are they still working on it?
No, in typical Italian fashion, they'll do it in the last
time. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. In another country, that'll work great.
Yeah, 100%. They're probably still negotiating the deal. They're probably following up. Actually, they're probably all on vacation. This right now is the Italian holiday of Ferragosto, actually August 15th today. And so probably all the people that should be negotiating the deal with the Americans are on holiday. So we'll pick that back up in September.
Is Infantino, is he Italian or is he Swiss?
He's Swiss.
Damn it. Because he's an idiot too.
Yeah.
I was hoping to just tie that together.
Well, anyway, I'm excited actually for some of the World Cup kit designs, not from those of the Puma variety. I thought all of them suck. They mailed in their as Chris rightly pointed out, their final year of the contract this year clearly shows they put in little to no effort. It's almost a comical attempt at a World Cup jersey. All of their jerseys stink. And so I'm really looking forward to what Nike has to offer in the coming weeks for all of the remaining World Cup squads.
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to finding out when the World Cup actually starts.
Oh,
so that's what
that was great. What a bunch of total jokers.
Is it going to be that Sunday or the Monday or whatever? We're not sure yet, but that is coming up pretty soon. So hopefully they figure that out.
You guys are very harsh. I hear a lot of people are very harsh with like this organization and saying this is amateur hour.
Amateur hour, Chris. This is amateur hour.
No,
they've had like 12 years to organize this.
That's what I mean.
They awarded Qatar the World Cup in the summer.
Yeah,
they did that. They did that for real. They said, "Hey, you guys in June, we'll see you there."
Yeah, that's why they came up with the AC in the stadium, and that's why they have AC.
It's ridiculous.
No, they're doing it right, Chris. In the end, like Qatar should be that first game, but they just think of that.
No, but apparently this is not a tradition that is long-standing. Apparently, this only started in 2006. Before it was just.
That's all I remember.
That's true, because 2002 was France losing to Senegal. Ooh.
Before it was it was the winner of the World Cup that's starting the first game, and I do like the host nation to start the game. So that's gonna be funny in 2026 because who's the host nation? So that means that how they're gonna do that? They're gonna have to do the first game of Canada, the first game of the US. I thought of that actually, and of Mexico.
That might be cool though. Actually, I might enjoy that.
No, they're just gonna have us. We're going to be the host.
Clearly, our scheduling and time zone impacts the start time of games. All our games are at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. So clearly not coincidental, which I appreciate.
For us. Very much
it's a huge market. They know that. That's on, and also like the fact that they moved it to November. So there is like two main things in there. Is that the US was like, hey, we have Thanksgiving. Let's take a look. That would help before the next World Cup to propel the ratings. So that was one. And the other one was in like Boxing Day. Just this is happening. If it's World Cup or not, Boxing Day is happening. So you guys do whatever you want, but you finish the final, like you give us like 5-10 days before, because 26 we play. So that were the two imperatives of like moving it to that date and be like, okay, sounds like Thanksgiving is gonna be great, and we finish perfect timing. So this is not coincidental. Everything like this is on purpose, and that's why they're like, oh, maybe moving Senegal to Netherlands at a time where actually it's like not 10 a.m. In Senegal and Netherlands, maybe that would be better, right? Ah, yeah, that would be better. Yeah. So to that side, yes, this is amateur hour. I agree with you on that side. But for me, it's like they called it. Oh yeah, they should have called it right after the drawing, right? And they're like,
and this on this time scale, yes.
yeah.
But the Qatar slot though, like that A1 slot or whatever, wasn't it? Like, isn't that already set in stone? Like, they already had all of Qatar's things for like years.
Yes, that they should have done it. I don't know what they were thinking. I think the stuff that threw them off, I think, is that they are starting on a Monday instead of a Friday. That's why.
Oh my God.
No. This has been this way for so long.
To me, it's inexcusable.
It's just lame. I don't think it's the wrong thing to do. It's just like, what are they doing over there?
Is anyone at the wheel?
Yeah. Who's at the wheel? Ole's at the wheel.
So anyway, gentlemen, it's great to be back. I'm super happy to have us back on the show. Please, everyone, please tune in next week. I'm actually very much excited for that Man U Liverpool game on Monday. We'll be back with analysis from the third week or the second week in some. We didn't even get the Serie A on this podcast, but don't worry, I'll be coming in with hot takes next week. Oh, we love that guy. It was
talk about it next week.
Yeah, great penalty finish by him. We love him. And so we'll be talking about that next week. We'll move on to the other leagues. We'll get a little early season review from all of the big clubs. So thank you, gentlemen. And thank you everyone out there for listening. This is SuperSubs Podcast. We will be back next week. Take care. Ciao, ciao, ciao.
Ciao.
Later.